Nutella, Public Relations Assistant Camembert, Richard Pastis, and Menu Noir Coffee are amongst the brands set to price more than in France as a law on meal prices conducted impact. It tool big meal and sip brands can no much longer be sold out at price cost. Shops' income profit must be at low 10%. But lot shops their own brand means are anticipated to get a bit more profitable. Such a consumer goods frequently go of less firms. By the government urged to assist less producers, but France has ongoing amber vest protests above prices. Down there are doubts on if the new law will in fact job as hoped. The 10% profit limit tool a meal or sip mark previous sold out for €1, pound, $1.10, now has to be estimated at €1.10 minimal. But down there will not be form cost increases, France print paper. The law affects supermarkets and hypermarkets more than rather than little regional shops. How is since the big point of sale propose several famous brands at or close price cost, abrupt their margins on such means, in procedure to bait customers, in a brutal cost warfare. Their profits rely on big amount and top circulation. Little shops, yet, cannot match stick the supermarket's low margins. Superstore circuit Carrefour is adaptive to the law by growing sale for customer loyalty map customers. Carrefour expects to lift prices by 35 euro cents on ordinary, that is 5%. It says 1,000 meal and sip brands are struck, out of 25,000 on selling. Supermarket Circuit E. Leclerc told it was increase prices by 3% on 1,000 brands. Farming Secretary Didier Guillaume told this aim is to sell agriculture consumer goods for which their cost. He tells how flesh and minnow prices would be untouched. He told how in supermarkets, in general, prices would go up on 500 out of 13,000 means, and in hypermarkets on 800 out of 20,000 on selling. By the government hopes how by manufacturing shops pay more than to their suppliers, the wholesalers, the last will pay more than to France meal and sip producers. How is since the wholesalers' revenue should growth as consumer pay high prices for specific brands. But millions of France consumer are irate on the price of residing, so down there is a hazard for by the government. It is already fighting to include frequently forcible gilets jaunes, amber waistcoat, protests. The protests were sparked by a gas cost walk recent year, after broken by CEO Emmanuel Macron, but quickly the gilets jaunes motion morphed in a broad outcry versus economical odds. For months down there been big weekend protests by the amber vests through France. Else one is planned for Saturday. Mr. Macron has tested to achieve out to the protesters. He said journalists on Thursday, if to be a amber waistcoat tool you wish job to pay more than and parliament to job superior, so later I'm a amber waistcoat. The France customer rights team UFCQ Coiser sounded skepticism on the new act. One of its researchers, Matthew Escott, told Les shops love the Monoprix circuit in Paris would not put up prices, since their margins were already over 10%. But he marked how gilets jaunes protesters were common shopping at the big supermarkets and of town store, wherever prices would go up. So it's France human beings on more than humble incomes, in poor procurement force, who will pay in, he reasoned. The law does not obligate meal and sip wholesalers to pay more than to France village producers, he told.